Okay, so I think I'm all hyped out after watching the trailer because I'm like, if you can believe it, I'm sick. I'm really powering through right now, but I'm running out of energy quickly. So for the YouTube video, we'll just go over the intro. We got all of the move lists for the characters, obviously. Thank you to Yakub D for doing this because I don't know how I would have been able to live with all of this footage out, but not being able to see the move list for the characters. I've been struggling just watching some of the trailers. So I main Yoshimitsu and Elisa in Tekken. I've mained other characters in the past, but Yoshimitsu has been the character that I've mained for the longest amount of time. I've been playing Yoshimitsu in every Tekken game since I started playing Tekken back in 2003. And I've also mained Yoshimitsu in Soulcalibur in a couple of games, not in Soulcalibur 6, but in a couple of games. So I have a lot of experience with Yoshimitsu. So after watching the trailer, I'm really interested to see a lot of the properties on these moves and what exactly he does in Heat, because there were a lot of things that were reminding me of stuff that he has in Soulcalibur. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I also don't have my phone on me to translate Polish, so oops, I'll have to get that. Okay, so I'm immediately going to need. So let's see what his gimmick is here. So it says enhanced versions of sword strikes, which are only available during the Muto no Koami, and can be used in the usual stance. But yeah, again, this is similar to something that he has in it's basically how it works in Soulcalibur, right? Because in Soulcalibur, you get specific moves that are enhanced to a degree like this, especially with Yoshimitsu, where instead of having new strings, it'll just be like, oh, Dragonfly A is now a break attack, or Dragonfly B is now unblockable, or Flash now has an extension you can use with meter that will make it a projectile. Actually, you might have that outside of Soul Charge. I don't remember. But, yeah, you know, it's similar to how it works in Soulcalibur, so that's fine. That's a new move. I would have liked to see how that works with Flash in particular, if it has the projectile like in Soulcalibur or not. But that's fine. So this is Dragonfly 1. So this is another thing with Heat. So all of his sword attacks get enhanced. And some sword strikes during Manji Dragonfly. Okay, so they're just making this a separate one because this is specifically in Dragonfly that he gets these moves enhanced, which includes Dragonfly A, which is also Dragonfly A and B. So these are the exact same moves that are enhanced in Soul Charge and Soulcalibur. So Dragonfly 1 here. So this one in Soulcalibur becomes a break attack that, or not break attack, an unblockable that basically gives Yoshimitsu full combo. And here in the trailer we saw it give a combo, but that might have been on counter here and I didn't see it correctly. I don't know, because here it just knocked down, but it also gave him some juice. And I'm guessing because it didn't change anything with meter, it just recovers health, so that's fine. Again, that's how it was with Yoshimitsu prior to Soulcalibur 6, so that would make sense. And then Dragonfly A is 4-1 plus 2. And so this is a high. There's no mid in here like there is in Soulcalibur. In Soulcalibur, this becomes a break attack, and that means it's plus on block. And it has an extension. But it is interesting that they gave him the same enhanced moves in Tekken that he does in Soulcalibur and Soul Charge. So Hard to say what exactly that's going to entail without seeing like the counter hit properties and how it is on block and stuff. Like, we don't know if Manji Dragonfly Forward 1+2 is going to be the same as it is in Soulcalibur, where it's plus, because Tekken doesn't have that break attack effect, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. The one probably isn't unblockable, but it's also not impossible that would be unblockable, because it seems like, based on the trailer and what we've seen, that the move is now blockable, unlike in Tekken 7. So if they just make it so, well, no, because that's a mid, it would have the exclamation point, right? It's not like how it is in Soulcalibur. So never mind, it just gives him some juice, but still similar in effect to how it is in Soulcalibur, which is neat. So let's see his heat engages here. So that's his 4-1+2 normally. See if they got rid of that a bit later. So 31's a new move that he has. We've seen in No Sword Stance as well that he has a different extension out of it that has like that B+K nightmare move. So what is the properties on this then? So it's mid-high, 15 frames. That's a pretty long range 20 frame move. That seems like it'd be really, really good. Also, it seems like Yoshimitsu doing a heat engage would be really, really annoying as well with sword sweep. Since the opponent is plus or minus 17, they wouldn't be able to back up. They would have to jump over, assuming it's still unblockable. It would be really, really oppressive. Maybe not as oppressive as like Paul Demoman Death Fist, but it'd be up there. It'd be really annoying. And if you're at the wall, game over. Hell, you know, I wonder, because in Tekken 7 with his new tactics, he probably has the best wall break in the game, because it just gives him up forward 1+2 or up back 1+2 1 guaranteed. It's guaranteed on block. So with him being plus 17 here, I do wonder if that's going to be guaranteed here as well. I don't remember what exactly the frames on it are. I don't pay attention to the frames. I just know that it works in Tekken 7. It might be interruptible with a jab, but trying to interrupt with a jab here would be really, really scary anyway, so it might be better in most instances to just eat the unblockable, even if it's not guaranteed, but still, it seems like it'd be very, very strong and annoying. And then again, if that's not guaranteed, you still have to deal with Hell Sweep or mid, so not Hell Sweep, but the Sword Sweep. Anyway, let's move on. Kinsho Forward 2. That's an interesting one to make your heat engager, because that was the new tactics. Which means it doesn't launch on counter hit anymore. It seems like it'd be really good. Would I rather have this as a heat engager than having it launch on counter hit? The answer is probably yes, because of what I just described before. So, all right. And then we saw this in the trailer, Dragonfly 4. With how they've changed Dragonfly 1, it makes sense to have Dragonfly 4 be the heat engager here. And that's it for heat engages. He doesn't have many. Which I guess you can think of like the Brave Edge attacks. If you compare them, he doesn't have many Brave Edge attacks in Soulcalibur either, so. All right. And then we don't need to see the Rage Art, but we will anyway. Okay, so 1-1 here. So how have they changed 1-1? So 1-1 does 26 damage. And it's +4, and it still forces crouch. I think it was +6 before. I might be wrong. I feel like it was +6 before. And I feel like it did 30 damage. I might be misremembering. I don't look at these things. I don't memorize these things. I just know what works and what doesn't. I'm not one of those, oh, I memorize all of the frame data for my characters and what does what on hit, so I know like if they've changed by 1 or 2 frames. I'm not one of those. I'm more look at frame data and characters wide and narrow, if that makes sense. I know relatively how everyone works because I play Soulcalibur and Tekken, so I have to remember the frame data for like 100 different characters, so I have to memorize like 10,000 moves in their frame data, so it's hard for me to hyper focus on one. So I don't remember, but I feel like that's a bit worse, but I might be wrong. So 2-1, still cancel it. Still probably minus 16 on block, but again, we don't know. If it's like minus 14 or something on block when you do the cancel, that'd be a huge buff, but I doubt it. Oh yeah, so instead of 2-2, I thought this was 2-1 because I thought I would have kept 2-2, the classic 10 frame punish Yoshi has, but now 2-2 is a new punish. It's 11 frames now instead of 10. That's very important. It's 11 frames instead of 10, leaves him plus 15. You can go in the no sword stance and Kincho off of it. The no sword stance transition is forced. That's interesting. Okay. It does change a bit, but having this as an 11 frame punish on one hand is really good. On the other hand, I don't want to have to memorize what's minus 11 because I don't play any characters that have 11 frame punishes until now. So, it explains though why you would do this over 1-1. And also Yoshimitsu doesn't have a 12 frame punish. So you can just use this as a 12 frame punish anyway. And it's better than 1-1. So okay. Yeah, and then 2-3, 2 down 3 still being useless. Wow, 2 down 3 was actually natural. I don't think 2 down 3 is normally natural. Might be wrong though, because you never use that move because it sucks. Okay, so 2-1. So it looks like it says it does nothing on block, but you transition into Manji Dragonfly. That is not the right picture. Deals damage on block, go to Manji Dragonfly, does not go into heat and heat dash activation, and then enhance during Muto no Kawami, which again I think is no sword stance. I think it's no sword stance. I'm pretty sure it's no sword. That's what I was thinking before, but then they threw me for a loop. I think it's just with the Polish translation being weird. Okay, so it's enhanced when you're in no sword stance, and then you can go in the Manji Dragonfly, but you don't get heat dash off of it. Something like that. Yeah, I mean, for a 15 frame poke like this, it's mid-high, so of course you can duck it. But no sword stance has the mid extension. It seems like it'd be a decent poke. Also, another thing to note is that the mid here, the 3, is now a mid. It used to be a high. So using just, depending on the frame data, but the 3 by itself was, I think, +1 on hit. It just didn't do any damage. But using the 3 by itself now actually could be good because of the threat of the 1 extension and it being a heat dash. So not bad. Also, you can use as a 15 frame punish. So that's neat. Oh, he has 3-2 as well for a mid follow-up. Ooh. Okay. Renews health on hit. And then partly consumes... Oh, so it's enhanced while you're in heat. Okay, so 3-4 the same, right? 3-4 the same. Hold up. Go into Dragonfly. Maybe I can get a little bit of insight. Oh, okay, so this is saying that you can't do it in no sword stance. Okay, got it. Kangaroo Kick Classic. I love that move. It's one of my favorite Yoshi moves. That used to be listed as a 10 string. Now it's just a move that he has. That's funny. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if this matters because we can't see the frame. Oh, it's -2. Okay, so 4-4 is -2. It is natural and it's 12. I don't think it was ever natural before the first 2 hits anyway. Not that really makes a difference, but maybe on counting it, the third hit would be guaranteed and it could wall splat or something. I don't know. What did this say? So during Kinsho, you can press forward and you go forward. You can press down now. What does pressing down do? That's new. You can press down to go into crouch and it has a parry effect. Huh. That is extremely useful. Depending on if he still has flash in Kinsho as well. But that seems really, really good. Okay. Okay, so what's here on meditation? No, don't skip it. He has something with 1+3 and 2+4 now, like he has a grab or something. And he just skipped it. Oh. He can throw while in meditation, and it's a mix-up? What the hell? He gets a throw when he's in meditation now? What the? That's crazy. Assuming that this is an actual throw mix-up, that's insane. Imagine doing a heat dash, meditating on their ass, and then doing a throw mix-up. That's crazy. Okay, so flash. Okay. So this is a whole thing. Right, so it says or while crouching, sure. It's enhanced while in heat or in no sword stance. Increased damage on block and restores health on hit. Wow. So I'm assuming then that no sword stance is still a launcher. And I'm assuming it's still going to be 8 frames and no sword stance, which means a couple of things that you can't launch, but a lot of things you still can. And I'm assuming it still has the increased range and no sword stance. But the fact that it does damage on block is fucking stupid. If you could do that in no sword stance and does damage on block, oh boy. Wow, okay. And then what's the range on this like too? Hard to tell. But it's +14, so you get back to 2 guarantee. That's pretty much the only thing that you get guaranteed here. You could get crouch dash 2 as well, but that's not gonna do anything. So, okay, sure. There's a trade-off, right? They make it so that flash isn't just a universal launch that you can do all the time, but at the same time, it still is a launcher under the right circumstances and incentivizes you using no sword stance more, so that's good. Okay. Right, so this is new. So, Manji Backfist now, just forward 2, has that same extension that he has out of down forward 1-2, which makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's not natural. It's not natural. Really depends on what the frame data is of that move on block. There's not much else to say there. And then Stone Fist. Did I say Manji Backfist? Maybe that's what's called in Soulcalibur. But Stone Fist. Only kick forward 3. Forward 3-4. Same as normal. Forward 4 is now his armor move, and it's faster. Might not be faster, actually. It's 18. It looks faster. It looks faster. I wanted to say this was like 21, 22 frames before, but I might be wrong. It just looks faster, and if it looks faster, that probably means it is faster. Because it's not just like, oh, I think it looks faster. It definitely looks faster. Okay, seems good. Depends on its properties on block again. So forward 1+2 is now this. Oof, that sucks. That's rough. Forward 1+2 used to be such a great move. Not having it anymore and having it replaced with this really sucks. It was pretty much the main go-to mid, but now he has the Nightmare B plus K moves, so maybe that replaces it. Not sure. He can still run away. Seems like it's the same as before. Again, that's really gonna depend on the frame data of it, but the last hit isn't natural. But down forward 1-2 is, and I don't think that it was before. I'm almost, yeah, it wasn't, because since down forward 1-4 jails, you always just ducked after down forward 1, but now it's natural. Yeah, I don't think it was natural. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it was ever natural though. I think it was only ever natural on counter hit. Same 13 frame punish. Woodcutter. Okay. Enhanced and heat, all of that good stuff. Crouch dash 1 is now down forward 1+4. Huh. Okay. Honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm honestly a-okay with that. And then crouch dash 2 is now down forward 2+3. It's also 17 frames instead of 14, which is weird. So I'm assuming then that this is going to be not unsafe on block if they've made it 17 frames instead of 14. All right, down 1, classic stuff. It sucks that there's so much information here and I can't read much Polish, so that sucks, but come on. You skipped it before you let it kill him? Sacrilege. Sacrilege. Okay, yeah, normal. Right, the second hit was high, right? Yeah, okay. Apologies. You hold back now to go into no sword stance. Okay. And then this is new. Again, really depends on the frame data on block. It's probably safe though, right? Because this one is the one that launches on counter hit. But then again, that other one can be used for converting to the wall, so hard to say. Good old flea. Normal stuff here. Down forward 1+2 1 is now down back 1-2. That's so weird, but at the same time, I think this is more similar to what the input is in Soulcalibur. Still reactable, by the way. 26 frames. Jesus Christ. Oh, they now have it listed that you can go into Indian meditation off of that too. Okay. Wait. The 4 here can go into Kincho? And you can hold back to go into no sword stance? That's pretty good. That's pretty nice. Okay, normal low still -1. Again, all normal stuff can still go into down back. Yeah, still going the Kincho off of that stuff. Spinning evade. You can do spinning evade off of, am I reading this correctly? You can do it off of 1-1. And off of, well, yeah, off of back 1, of course. But yeah, it's saying that you can do this off of 1-1. That's new. It sucks that he's going through this so quickly instead of letting it go, because I'm wondering now if there's more that you can do it off of. But that's Being able to do that off of 1-1 is really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Apparently, Mayman made the connection between Yoshimitsu and Soul Edge. I'm not the only one. But did he make a connection between the Mishimas and Soul Edge, though? Because I did. But it's a good thing I'm not the only one. People are starting to finally be like, oh, it is. the non-Soulcalibur nerds finally like, oh. So no sword stance is now back 1+2 instead of 2+3. That's gonna fuck me up. It always made sense, but I gotta remember that you're also kind of insane. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. The Nightmare move is up back 1+2, so what the hell is normal up back 1+2 then? Enhanced in no sword stance and heat. Okay. So that's just a common theme with a lot of these Soulcalibur moves. Sword stab is up back 1+3. Okay, that's going to be weird. It also doesn't list that he has the just frame anymore, so I do wonder if they got rid of that or if it's still there and still hidden. Okay, that's the same. That's the same. New effect, but that's the same. That's the same. What were the frames on this one? 35, yeah, that's the same. Voiding the puddle, classic. Poison wind. Okay, so... Ah! Yeah, that thing I thought that was Core Circle Forward 1 is probably just Poison Wind, which is what I had thought, but I was also hoping. Again, this is all normal stuff. I think they might have changed the input on this. I feel like that this was 3+4 before, and the kangaroo kick was like just 4. I don't remember. Oh, that's so confusing. It's up forward 1+3 now instead of up forward 1+2. Okay. Still has the just frame. Still has the transition. Fubuki's the same. Solo kick's the same. Shock attack, same. Something about Indian stance. I mean, it has stuff that interacts with Indian stance. You can do it out of Indian stance, for instance. Yep, double suicide. Did that not kill him? Oh, because it's practice mode. Same on block, but you can still cancel it. Moonsault Slayer. That's a mid now? What? That's not unblockable? Wow, this move is useless. Wow, this move has absolutely no use at all now. Unless it's like plus 50 on block, and even then, oh my god. Local Yoshi main struggles to remember Yoshi inputs. Yeah, that's the club. Forward 3 is different, and he can go in the Dragonfly off it now. That seems really, really good to go in the Dragonfly off of it. Same 10 string. Same 10 string. Except now that gives you a combo. I don't think that it did before, but who cares? Door knocker. Classic. He can do this in sword stance now. Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking, shut up. Seth, shut up. Hold on, is this still, it's still 14, okay. All the same as before. Yeah, that's 26. I feel like is 26 faster than before? I want to say it was like 35 frames startup or something like that. Reacting to 26 with a jump. I don't know. Side step 2, side step 1 all look the same. Indian meditation, back turn 1, 2, back turn 1, 3. Those are the same. Back turn 3, down 1. Yeah, those are all the same. This one does not get enhanced in heat, which is makes sense. It's still sad though. Go into no sword stance while back turn. That could have some interesting properties if you back turn, go into no sword stance, and then immediately flash. Okay. That's enhanced in heat, which might make this move actually useful. I wonder if the fully charged version is still minus on block. But what was the 3? Is it still 24? 25? Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so it's still useless. Kinjo 4. Yeah, I can still go back into Kincho and meditation. 1 + 2. Can still flash. Down 1 still exists, but you can't cancel it. That kind of sucks because this move is reactable. The only thing that really stopped that from making it a problem is the fact that you could cancel it. But since you can't cancel it anymore, this move is kind of useless. I say kind of useless. It's useless in the same way that like any 23 frame low is useless, and like against someone that knows the matchup, it's not going to be useful, but against 99% of people, it's going to be insane. Download new drivers and they broke Soulcalibur 6. It's not the only thing that breaks Soulcalibur 6. Okay, so 3B is now forward 1. Enhanced in heat can't go in the Dragonfly, by the way, off of it. So it's not like Soulcalibur. Do wonder what it's like on block, though. Kincho back to 1's the same. The unblockable is the same. Cancel in the Dragonfly looks the same. Meditation. Yeah, so it scrolled through a bit there, but you get a grab now while you're in meditation, which is really crazy. And you can do the 3 for the mid. Okay. Spins. Skull splitter. Kangaroo kick. Ha 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 ha. Was that not unblockable before? I don't know, because who uses that in neutral? Yep, that and Dragonfly. Yeah, and then that I'm assuming that you can still tech roll it. Okay, so that's unblockable. Kangaroo kick. Wow, kangaroo kick. That's kind of crazy. Kangaroo kick here from Indian stance being a tailspin. There's so many times in neutral where someone will walk forward while you're in Indian meditation. If you hit that, it'll just hit them because of the range on it and they don't see it coming. That being a launcher is that's actually really good. That's really, really good. It's 4, go in the flee. 3 + 4. Okay, here's the thing, right? He can do this in Soulcalibur. He can't do this normally in Tekken, right? This is a Soulcalibur thing only normally. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that this is a Soulcalibur only thing. I didn't say it in the trailer because I couldn't remember, but since we're here, I think this is new for him in Tekken specifically. Seems like they take more influence from Yoshi's Soulcalibur 6 iteration in this version. Oh, absolutely. They absolutely do. He even has his Soul Steal gimmick like he has in Soulcalibur, except I think it takes health in Tekken, like it was, you know, before Soulcalibur 6. Okay, so does this have like a parry in it with the animation? I don't know if I care for the animation being so exaggerated instead of him just putting the sword away, but some standard blows become unique blows during those sword stance. Yeah, who cares? We already know this. Love that move. Yeah, so that's new, right? 4-4B. I'm gonna keep saying it just to piss off the Nightmare players at this point. Yeah, okay, so when he's in no sword stance, Flash is still a launcher, and it's still 8 frames. That's really good. And it gives him health back as well. And it does chip damage on block. So it's crazy. Big jab. What did this say? Okay. Yeah, that gets enhanced. Does something on clean hit. So chip damage on block, and then what the hell is this? And it's enhanced in heat. Okay, it has a clean hit property, and it gives health back on hit. Okay. Oh my god, that's gonna be so confusing. It has up 4 and 1 plus 3. Does it have up 4 and 1 plus 2? Classic stuff. Nothing new there as well. What's the frames on this? Is this still reactable? Yeah, 26. That's still 20. Wow, it doesn't give a full launch now. That kind of sucks. Okay. Yep, so that's a new move. If you hold back, you go into no sword stance. Okay. So is the first hit still launch? It doesn't. Okay. And then the 3s. What's the 3 on hit? +6! Oh my god. I think it used to be 0 on hit. I might be misremembering again, but I'm pretty sure this was 0 on hit. That's crazy. With the change to the 1 and the 4 being a heat engager, that's... Wow. You still can't press a button here to give him more health and do the little animation. Sad. Yeah, that's a normal thing. Yeah, so what's the startup on this move? 16. And then we got grabs. Rainbow Drop is now up forward 1 plus 2 instead of core circle back 1 plus 2 like usual. Stars core circle forward 2. And it doesn't have a lethal hit property like it does in Tekken, so, or in Soulcalibur, so... Man, remember when people were doing this move in Soulcalibur when it got the lethal hit property because it was unbreakable? Just so you could get a combo off it? Oh, that was funny. Yep. And then low parry. Okay, yeah, that's Yoshimitsu. Wow. Really interesting changes. I feel like he's had more changes than the majority of characters. A lot of the things, especially in Heat, are reminiscent of Soulcalibur. They've given him Soulcalibur moves. He really feels like he's... There's been a lot of influence taken from Soulcalibur, which I'm really happy with. I do wish that there was a little bit more, like I said before, because I'm fucking crazy. Like, I wish that, like I said when I did the trailer, that there was like a soul gauge or something. along with Yoshimitsu having heat, or if it was like a Hakumen thing where he had his own soul gauge meter or something like that. But regardless of that, I'm super happy. New stance transitions, new 12 frame punish, which she really did need. Interesting changes to moves, new no sword stance transition, more incentive to use no sword stance, which I already thought was really good and underutilized. I think the change to Flash is interesting. I think that his heat engages are pretty strong, and with Yoshimitsu specifically will lead to a lot of really obnoxious situations. He seems really strong. He seems really strong, and I think that Yoshimitsu is like a top tier character in Tekken 7, and they just made him better and gave him a lot of unique things and made him feel a lot like a Soulcalibur character. So I think it's good. I think it's really good. I'm really down for this. I'm very excited to play Yoshi when this game comes out. He looks great.